back to the channel. My name is Joshua, Joshua Reviews, and as you can see, we have a little DC update for you guys here. Or I have a DC update for you guys, and as you guys can see, I got a new haircut. I'm looking fresh, ready to dive into this, and as you can see by the title and thumbnail, it's actually a pretty interesting one. Okay, so I don't think I've gone over this in my last video, but Gunn has come out again, sparked things up, and yeah, we're gonna get into some of the things that he has said here, and yeah. Anyway, so the first one here, as you can see. So, someone asked him on Threads, the man is very active on that app. So in Blue Beetle, at least in the commercial, Jaime knows who Superman is. And you said in the past, Blue Beetle is in your DCU. So, is your young Superman set in the past? Gunn came and responded, I was never making a young Superman movie. Just a Superman movie. He's actually said that, this movie will be set on the earlier parts of Superman's career a lot. And I'm going to go see if I can go back and find that tweet. Should be popping up here. Or if I have it right here, I don't know. But, yeah. He's definitely said things similar to a young Superman movie before. So, again, he's lying to his audience. That's why I don't want him in charge. So, this was from Ben Affleck discussing Deathstroke and everything like that. This was last year. Or no, it was this year. I think SnyderCon was this year. Yeah. If you guys didn't watch the whole thing, yeah. Hey, I'm gonna move this over here. Hang on. It's because I have to, read this, so I'll move it right back over here once I'm done. So, this was him talking about Deathstroke last year at SnyderCon when he was asked by a fan on what, he had plans for the character. And he said this, there were a number of them, villains, that I was kind of exploring. And the plans were to make interesting, nuanced, I hope I'm saying that right, complex characters. In particular to the character you mentioned, Deathstroke. So, I was at the time really trying to hone in and focus on that character and get into depth and detail about it. To make him seem as impressive as I felt there was the opportunity to do. That's the only detail I have for you. So, obviously, he didn't want to go too much into detail. That's fine. Because you never know what will happen in the future. Maybe we'll get the Affleck film in the future. Maybe we won't. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah. So, this is also going to be very David Ayer oriented. This is coming from Variety. And I believe this was him talking on a podcast with John Bernthal. I believe. So, he said, this is about Suicide Squad. Deadpool opened, right? And they never tested Batman vs. Superman, which I find is crazy. They got hammered by all their critics. Then it's like, okay, we're going to turn David Ayer's dark, soulful movie into a effing comedy now. Yeah, guys, this man has been done dirty. I want to see the hashtag releasetheayercut everywhere. It worked for the Snyder Cut. We can get his cut released. Let's make it happen. He has been very active on social media, and he has been fighting for his cut to be released ever since day one. So, guys, let's just make it happen. Let's just make it happen. So, another big thing here is, so, someone said on Twitter, Ben Affleck had a voice-only cameo for the Blue Beetle movie. that was cut by Gunn. It was purely comedic, but it placed Blue Beetle in Affleck continuity. And then Gunn's response was, I've never heard of a Ben Affleck voice cameo in Blue Beetle. Nor has Peter, much less a cut one. I never heard of one because one never existed. Just as the producers. I think he's lying again. For him to have the producers just right there. Now, I don't know what the time frame was of him responding to this, but still, for him to just have the producers right there, automatically at the tip of his fingers, like, oh, let me just call this guy up. Hey, was there a Affleck cameo in Blue Beetle? No? Oh, okay. Or yes? Okay, I'll just tell him there isn't. I think it's kind of stupid. I find this kind of skeptical. Maybe there was, maybe there isn't. I don't know. There is mention of Batman in the movie, so maybe there is. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. So, I thought this was interesting. So, DC Comics president thought Joss Whedon's Justice League was terrible. And actually, I'm so glad, because I was just fighting with someone about Justice League, and I'll have to send him this. I forgot. So, DC Comics president thought Joss Whedon's Justice League was terrible. I mean, don't we all? Besides the person I was fighting with. Yeah. That movie is terrible. And the experiences everyone had on that movie is terrible. Affleck almost killed himself. Whedon was racist towards Fisher. Godot said that Whedon tried to destroy her career. Catholic. What? Cavill had some complications during the reshoots. Blah, 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 blah. Momoa, too. You know, everyone was just there. So, yeah. And I did get this from Aaron Fisher's video, who did read a bit, and he said that she talked about how they didn't capitalize much on Batman versus Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. They didn't, and that's 100% true. They didn't capitalize enough on the Justice League. We got Justice League, which was awful, and then we got the Snyder Cut, which was amazing. And then we just simply never got anything after that. Now we're getting Gunn's stupid DCU reboot that no one asked for. And the man is a liar, lying to all of his audience faces, but no one seems to care. So, yeah. And for the DC Comics president to say it was awful, then the movie is awful, people. I'm not going to repeat myself again. So, this was Will Smith on the hashtag releasetheayercut. There's a lot that stayed on the floor with Suicide Squad. I'm into it. I'd love to see it. I love that world. I love what was created in both versions. I would absolutely love to see it. So, again, guys, this man was done dirty, okay? Done dirty. I believe there was even things cut behind his back that he didn't know about. I mean, studio was just awful towards him. Awful. Super, like... And I don't find the first Suicide Squad all that bad. Sure, there's some pretty moments, but it could have easily been saved by Ayer's cut if it was actually freaking released in the theater. Anyway. So, that's all I have for that batch. Now we're gonna go on to the other stuff. To the main part of the video. And to just... this. Again, most of this is going to be Ayer, but we're going to talk about Gunn and the Batman stuff too, which is pretty bad. So, David Ayer said right here, the Hollywood Reporter said, where have all the DC fans gone? And this is honestly a response to, you know, all these recent box office bombs that Warner Brothers have been having with these DC movies. And David Ayer just came out and just threw a couple of shots at Warner Brothers. He was like, easy solve. Let the filmmakers make their vision. Don't operate from fear. Be daring. Look at what worked. Don't chase the market. DC has always had the best characters in publishing. Dark, intense, and thoughtful is the brand. With the hallelujah emoji. And hallelujah indeed. Very well said. Could have said it better myself. We need more people like him who decides to come out, whether it'll get him in trouble or not. Yeah, hello. Now, Gunn does it, but he does it very stupidly. And sometimes doesn't know how to keep his mouth shut at times. Which we're gonna get that to a second. We're gonna get to that in a second. Oh boy, I'm scrolling past it right here. Oof. Here's another David Ayer. Hang on, I have to go back and... I left tab because this is on my computer and I'm sitting down. A person asked him, a dark Superman that did not work because he represents light and hope. Something is not right in your plot. Ayer simply came and responded with, the key to Superman, in my opinion, is his emotional life. He has to wrestle with his immense capability, but is a very normal human mentally. A farm kid from the Midwest, there's an innocence to him. Thereby, the darkness hunts his innocence. He can be tricked and gaslit. His goodness can be weaponized against him, and that is incredibly dramatic. The game of I use a word then gets regarded with examples of my fractal wrongness is getting boring. All this is just my stream of conscience the moment I write it. My thoughts evolve. My opinions change. Tomorrow will be different from today. Again, the man is just coming out and shutting down everyone. He's like, stop coming after me. This is my opinion. And by the way, I agree with him. I'm also writing a Superman film and directing a Superman film. And directing and everything like that. And I agree with him. I agree. A character and the emotional side to him is one of the most important sides to a character. Whether that's freaking Superman or just a random character on the street. I don't care. These are movies. These aren't the comics. These are movies, and people want to see both sides of the story. People want to see the more happy and the more lightful and the more optimistic Superman. People want to see the more realistic, the more oh god, how do I say this? The more darker, the more he has an emotional and dark side to him. And there are comics that also go deep into that. So yes, I agree with him right here. I'm spitting facts right here. If you don't agree with me, shut up. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love all you guys. You guys can leave your opinion down in the comments down below. Comments. What? What am I saying? Golly. Okay. So, this was Gunn on Threads, talking about the recent John Krasinski, Batman rumors, and he said, I don't know what you're talking about, but we don't even have a script, and there's a strike happening, so no casting. And he was asked, I'm assuming rumors about DCU Batman casting have no truth to them. And then he responded with that. Yeah. Just because there is a strike going on right now, but that doesn't mean that the studio isn't looking at people. Again, the strike isn't affecting Gunn or isn't affecting, these studio heads. Now, it is also kind of, hurting Gunn because he's a writer of and director of Superman Legacy, and he's a writer of Creature Commandos. And the writers are on strike, so how he can come out on social media this much is beyond me. So on to the main part of the video. There's also another thing I want to talk about at the end of the video. That's having to do with Aquaman related. Oh, Lord. Okay, so. Oh, wait. I'm trying my hardest. I'm sorry, guys. Super unprofessional. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there. My tablet just shut off. So, sorry, that was super unprofessional. I'll probably just cut all that out. Anyway, this was Gunn about 11 years ago, talking about Tim Burton's Batman and everything else. Now, a lot of you are going to say, oh, this was 11 years ago. Guys, this is still him trashing DC. If you look at this, and you think, oh yeah, Gunn is the right man for the job. And by the looks of this, it's probably not popped up on screen yet, but if you look at this, it looks pretty thought out. So I don't think his opinion has changed in the slightest. Once you write these many takes, some dare say awful takes, it's kind of stuck in your head forever, and that's just kind of your opinion. So yes, for people saying, "Oh, it was 11 years ago," the man wrote a whole book. Okay. So anyway, here it is. He's responding to someone on Facebook. A. Keaton did have a ridiculous voice. That said, I'd rather put up with a ridiculous voice than with horrible action sequences and acting barely worthy of the Batman TV show. B. I have no idea how you think that the Burton Batman has more similarities with Moore or Miller's Batman and Joker than Nolan does. And listen, I have problems with both of Nolan's films. I don't think either one is classic. I don't even really think Batman Begins is good, which is insane, by the way. But they're far superior to the first Batman. C. None of your defenses get by the fact that despite being the first cinematic dark take on Superman, so what? Stallone's Judge Dredd was the first dark take on Judge Dredd. The movie was awful. So, I'm gonna give my quick opinion on this. So, as a person who did not grow up with Michael Keaton as Batman, it's hard for me to have a take on this, but after watching The Flash, Keaton does not have a ridiculous voice at all. And Michael Keaton is a fantastic actor, okay? And I've seen clips of Batman '89, and it looks pretty dang awesome. So, yes, I don't... this is just a bit much. He didn't have to go this in. And this is the man that they're handing the character Batman to. Literally. The man who thinks Batman Begins isn't really that good. This is another one. Oh yeah, and Jack Nicholson as the Joker is Jack Nicholson in the Shining with crappy clown makeup. Frick you, everyone involved with that travesty. Wow. 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 Guys, I see people every day, like, trying to separate the artist, the artist from their past mistakes, or crap like that. I'm like, I don't really care. I don't like liars. I don't care how freaking rich or famous they are, or how good their movies are. I don't care. If you're lying to a fan base, you're lying to a fan base. And if you're crapping on a product this much, how are you given to be in charge of said product? It's stupid. It's stupid, and no one is talking about it. This sparked a little, like, A little hate train? Okay! What about all the other times that he has lied to your faces? And I'll be going over that in a separate video. I'll be going over all the lies that he has told everyone. So, this is another thing from Facebook. The Tim Burton Batman is poorly written. The soundtrack is the worst work of everyone involved. First of all, why you gotta take a dig at the soundtrack, dude? Just focus on... And of course he's talking about soundtracks, Mr. Guardians of the Galaxy. That's the freaking whole thing. It's music, 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 music. I'm a musician. That's fine. That's great. But you don't need to take a dig at them. Goodness gracious. It is absolutely one of the most boring films ever. Wow. That's crazy. Not only that, but the review of the Joker as the killer of Bruce Wayne's parents spits in the face of Batman's origin. It is a nullification of the bottomless thirst for vengeance that necessarily drives Batman. It pretends not to be campy, but is completely so. And on top of everything, the dark creature of the night can't move his freaking neck. Give me a freaking break. It's a ridiculous, awful film. Burton's Planet of the Apes is genius in comparison. So, yeah. The man is just taking a dig at everyone at this point. I'll say... the Batman killing... the Joker killing Batman's parents does sound a little weird to me. Again, I haven't seen the film. I don't really know. It sounds interesting. It sounds like an interesting idea. And it's again, it's someone's take on the character. Why do you have to go that in on someone's take? Just say you don't like it. You don't have to make a whole freaking book on it. That just shows you what type of person he is. Or at least what type of person he used to be. I mean, the man does go on social media every now and then and says some crap, but still. It's just... it boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. Hang on. I gotta see something right here. Oh, no. Oh. That's not here. Anyway, the thing I wanted to talk about is, Aquaman 2 is still slated for a December release date. Guys, I'm gonna be real honest. Aquaman 2 is butchered to the max. Gunn keeps interfering with the movie. Him and Safran keep interfering with the movie. The movie has been through 3 rounds of reshoots. Both Batman, including Keaton's, has been cut out of the film. I don't think that's a coincidence. Considering everything that we've gotten right here, I don't think Batman dying in The Flash. Oops, spoiler. Batman dying in The Flash. You know, Michael Keaton's Batman dying in The Flash. I don't think that was a coincidence. Because clearly he doesn't like that take on Batman. So, listen. That film is just butchered to the max. All of this Aquaman 2 news, all of this merchandise is getting released. But we don't even have a frickin' trailer for the movie yet. And I think this comes in line with a quote that Juan said a few months ago, saying that he doesn't even know what final version will be coming out in theaters. And I think that leads up to... I think they're still editing the movie. I think they're still picking and choosing what they want. It's insane. The movie is still coming out in December, but yet the studio, Gunn, Momoa, no one has decided to come out and say anything on the movie. Goodness gracious. Also, there's another thing I want to talk about. David Ayer. A lot of you guys are going to say that he's just being too overdramatic. No. Guys, the man has said that his experience on Suicide Squad broke him. and that all he wants to see is his actual cut released. Whether that's in theaters or it's just popped on the Max like the Snyder Cut was. Not releasing the Snyder Cut in the theaters was a huge missed opportunity, by the way. And, by the way, Ayer has come out and said, I'll put the tweet right here if I can find it, that the edit is complete. There's nothing to be changed. The edit is done. All it needs to do is just tweak up some things, and boom, out there for the world to see. And I would watch that over and over and over, even if it's crappy, because you know why? That was someone who worked hard. That was someone who worked hard and diligently to get their cut released. Same thing with Snyder. Snyder fought hard, and he had to go through all this while also dealing with grief of his daughter passing away. That just shows you how messed up of a company Warner Brothers is, whether it was back then or whether it was now. Now, Gunn has said in the past that maybe there will be a time for the Ayer cut to be released, and I think if there is a time, why isn't it now? The man is begging for it. The man is asking for it. He's been asking it politely, and he asked politely. Now he's taking shots at every single one of your executives and everything. He's coming out and saying, you know what? Maybe, you know why the DC fans aren't showing up at the theater? Maybe let them do their actual vision and stop freaking butchering everything. Wow, so crazy. The man who once worked for you is now pretty much going at your throat and saying, hey, you treated me like crap, so now it's time for me to treat you like crap. It's time for me to expose everything that you did to me, from cutting stuff behind my back to everything. And I am going to get my cut released, whether you like it or not. I am going to fight till I die. So, yeah, and I think he will fight until he's put in the grave. And as he should. The man was done dirty. Everyone has been done dirty by this studio regarding DC. And the most dirtiest thing of all is hiring James Gunn, the hater of Batman, to be the leader of DC. Sure, he made a couple of great Guardians of the Galaxy films, which I love. They're great. Guardians 2 is sort of a letdown, but still enjoyable. He made a great couple of films, but here he is trashing on your product, and here he is lying to your fan base. But no, we're gonna keep him on. And the man had the audacity to fire Henry Cavill for his age. Yet the man came out and said, I was never making a young Superman movie. The man literally said, Gunn literally said, the reason why I fired Cavill is because of his age. Why? No reason at all, apparently. He was never making a young Superman movie. By the way, am I the only one picking up on this? If you're shoving 7 cameos in one movie of all these heroes that are already established, don't you think he would be, like, a little older? And plus, if he's already Superman, then he's going to have some experience. So why not just have Henry freaking Cavill play the character? Just soft reboot. That's all you needed. But nah. Now, what we need is a hard reboot, because all of this is starting to become confusing. We don't know who's staying, we don't know who's going. It's a mess. So, I love you all. Hashtag release the Ayer cut. Fire James Gunn. Let's just all go back to being peaceful. And not lying to fan bases. And not hating on Batman. And not going in on every single person who was involved with a Batman movie. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next video. Take care and peace. Let me know down your comment, your opinions down below, and yeah. See you all later. Take care and peace.